if anyone has a question, could you please
There was a question here.
raise your hand? So, who had a question?
I get the mic and everything. I was wondering if you've done any research on types of meditation that are more effective than others. I hear a lot about transcendental meditation, which is like $1,000 for some super secret class they don't tell you about until you take it. And then I know there's a lot going on right now where they're using the electrodes for you to get feedback in the moment, so you see like where your brain waves are at in the moment.
I actually tried doing some work with that, using feedback of something called steady state visual evoked potential. So if you rapidly flicker something and you pay attention to the flickering source, then you see an increase in the amplitude of the brain response to it. And so our goal was to try and use that as an index of how focused your attention was. We were kind of not perfectly experienced with the techniques at the time, and I had an undergrad working on the project, so it kind of didn't work out all that well. But there's others that have been using that kind of technique. In terms of other types of meditation, I don't particularly want to praise some and diminish others. I'm a bit skeptical of some of the TM stuff because it's often not peer-reviewed in the same way that other meditation research is, and a lot of it's coming out of the Maharishi University, so there's a little bit of promotion potentially wrapped up with that. So I tend not to take that literature that seriously, but there's probably some real things in it. It's just hard to tell.
Okay. Okay, we'll take another question, and then we can also talk while we transition out. We could talk for hours.
I just wondered if you had read or knew anything about what I thought was a pretty fantastic book, which covered some of the same things you're talking about, especially the meta-analysis, which, thanks for the great definition of that. It's kind of what I assumed it was, but altered states,
altered traits, yeah. So that's a book. One of the authors is Richard Davidson, who's at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. I would say pretty much anything that he's written or that's come out of his laboratory group is very reputable science.
Yeah,
they're probably doing the best and most cutting edge work in these things.
Okay.
He's also quite fortunate that he has worked closely with the Dalai Lama since 1987 or earlier. And as a consequence of that, he has access to these elite meditators, right? So these are people with, the minimum is 10,000 hours, and we have, the Malcolm Gladwell other ideas that 10,000 hours is kind of the first level for expertise. So that's the basic level that they have, and they have experts from 10 to 50,000 hours of meditation practice. And some of these monks have done 2 12-year retreats plus 3-year retreats, and this is meditating 10 to 12 hours a day for that entire period of time. So these are absolutely the elite Olympic athletes of these meditation practices.
Yeah,
and you do show, like, those people absolutely are using their brains differently than we are.
Right. That's
There's just no question about it. Yeah.
And they really talked about how a little bit of meditation changes your brain temporarily, or even like to the question somebody had earlier, but then they talk about,
does it go back?
super
Yeah.
meditators, it's an altered, trait. It's
Right.
actually become hardwired in
Well,
the brain.
and to your question earlier as well, so someone like the Dalai Lama, who's a very busy person, he's not just a Buddhist monk and a meditator, he's traveling around the world and doing all of these things. His maintenance daily meditation practice is 4 hours. And then he would go on retreat whenever he had the opportunity and be meditating full time, as does Matthieu Ricard and these other people. So they, if possible, take a 2 or 3 month retreat where they're meditating, a really significant portion of the day. And that sort of tunes the system up again, and then you go back to meditating less and hope to kind of maintain until you have a chance to go back into training, essentially, right? So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Let's give everyone.
Thank you.